Hello
Happy
everybody!
Easter!
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Ang sarap pala dito sa mag-webinar, kakaiba. Kausap mo computer. Hi everybody! Welcome to our very short but interesting topic, I suppose, for many of you, first time to hear about strengths-based parenting. Let me introduce myself. Can I share my screen? Okay. Here we go. We will be talking about how to unlock your child's potential by becoming a strengths-based parent. So I have been a Gallup certified coach for over 7 years, 7 years now. But in the Philippines, we had a certification for coaching, Strengths Finder coaching since 2015, and been doing coaching for executives and parents and children, teenagers as well. So, three things that I really love doing is marriage. I've been married for 28 years, hindi ba halata? Okay, di ba? Sabi ng wife ko, she wanted to renew our wedding vows. So, 25th, tuloy pa rin ang kasal. Parenting is one of the passions in my heart. I've been doing parenting for 26 years already. All our kids are adult children already, and been doing people development for 20 years. Been doing training for executives and corporate individuals for more than 10 to 15 years. Okay? So today we'll be talking about parenting, particularly strengths-based parenting. So how do we unlock the potential for our kids and see them grow in a more positive way? So just a little admin for everybody, so also I can see how the landscape of the listeners for today. We will have a poll-in question, so for you to answer, and the way you'll do this is you'll answer dun sa pinakamatandang anak nyo. So if you have 3 kids, you can only answer 1. So if you have a teenager, please do put there number 3. If you have a toddler and there's only 1 child, put 0 to 6. So we will see now our polls. This helps me also to focus in on questions later on. There we go. Can we have the scores? The results, we have 38% teenagers or 13 and up. We have 28%, 7 to 12, and we have 34. Wow, equally distributed. Ano? Ganda ng balance natin, Irish. So, for those people who have 0 to 6, etong first part, sobrang useful sa inyo sa journey namin. Lalo na, meron akong surprise sa inyo para mag-share sa atin ng magandang topic. To us and to our lineage. Pero marami din tayong fears minsan, di ba? If you're a parent now, during our days, walang sexting, walang cyberbullying. But now, parents now are actually worried about how to become an honor student, how to become a competitive student, how to make it to the top schools. You become competitive. And so we have a lot of questions. In fact, we have given you questions that you'd want us to answer, but there'll be things that we'll be answering. But when I summarized the whole thing, and I actually made an analysis of what parents are actually asking, is this two basic boils down to the question. How can I succeed as a parent? Diba? Paano ako mag-succeed yan? May nag-doorbell na. May sasagot. And then the second question is, how can my kids succeed in this life? Especially now, children are being pressured. The minute they become socially unaccepted, bullied, parang nagka-crumble na sila. How do we ensure that our kids can have a fair share in this game of life? How can they have an advantage? Two best secrets in our journey between my wife and I as we become parents to our three wonderful children. The first secret I'll share with all of you, the first secret is God's grace. Yun muna, kailangan una magpakasal ka muna sa magandang asawa. So pag magandang asawa mo, gaganda yung generation. So imagine mo yung kids namin there, I've been blessed with beautiful children. David, who's now 26, Gabriel, who's 24, and Daniela at the back is 22. And wonderful, I've been blessed with wonderful family. I am walking every day with the awe, waking up with these wonderful people around me. But the second thing that I realize, it's also hard work. Mahirap maging parent, especially raising three kids. Today is not simple. It's a little bit more complex. Finances, emotions, physical presence, and engagement with them. Hard work talaga. And so the question some of you parents are asking, why is parenting so hard for me? Two reasons. Number one, we've not been taught about parenting. There are 70,000 books on parenting. Question ko sa inyo is, how many have you read? There's so much books to read. There's so much information now. The second one is, even though you have been attending courses, what are your goals? Are they clear as a parent? So kami nung asawa ko, we have basically narrowed down our goals to 4 simple things. Number one, kailangan healthy muna yung mga bata. The children have to be healthy. Bago pa sila maging godly, bago pa sila maging useful, kailangan healthy muna. Huwag muna mamatay. Okay? Kailangan yung gamot, andon, yung gatas, tama, yung tulog, tama. Very important thing is health. Number 2 is that they be productive. That they learn how to be responsible, respectful, and to be able to have a good use of their talents. Pangatlo is to have good values. Bale, wala kung magaling anak mo, hindi naman siya mabait sa kapwa at hindi naman natatakot sa Diyos. The fourth one is to have good relationships. One of the things that we're discovering now that if you want to have a great life satisfaction, relationship play a big part of the whole satisfaction game of life, the game of life. So what is our approach? This is one of the questions that usually parents would ask. Sa amin, Marquez Academy, we have tried to figure out paano ba natin i-approach ang parenting. So when the kids were smaller, on their 0 to 2, we are very high on control. You dictate, you spoon feed, kasi bata pa eh. I mean, alangan man tanungin mo, baby, what do you like for today? Walang galon. You have to feed them, you have to give them schedule, you have to limit their freedom. Hindi mo sila pwedeng patakbuhin sa kalye. But as they grow older, so this is the principle, the younger the kids, the higher the level of control. Mas mataas yung control mo. But as kids grow a little older, 3 to 6, hopefully you've trained them for responsibility and obedience, you're able now to give them more freedom. So as they grow older, your control is reduced. So nakikita natin yung triangle, yung papaliit, yung control mo lumiliit. Ano yung lumalaki? Yung lumalaki dyan is your coaching, and you're now parenting from the side. Parents move from controlling to coaching. This is the difference between parenting 0 to 12. Because you're basically in control, authoritative, trying to make sure that they follow and they obey. But as the kids grow a little older, you realize you cannot control them. You have to move to the next layer of parenting. And this is where the transition, and this is where the 38% of you are actually having a hard time trying to adjust to the different styles in parenting. So pag ages 13 and up na, ma-realize mo, hindi ko na pala siya control. I have to actually trust. I have to build more trust. Because my goal now is to raise up independent kids. One day they will fly, one day they'll soar, and I'll not be there for them. They will make their own decisions. They will not be dependent. I don't want to raise kids who are dependent. Irish, ayoko naman mag-raise ng mga teenagers, imagine mo, adults na sila, tapos meron pa silang pulbo sa likod, tapos sinasabi mo maligot, mag-toothbrush. That's not really funny. Your time is up in that area. So, one thing we've learned kami ng asawa ko is that you only have one shot in parenting. Pagkatapos mo, nag-times up ka na, no more. You cannot bring back time. The second thing you have to understand is that the wet cement years where the kids can really be moldable and malleable is from 0 to 12. That's your window of opportunity. If you miss that, you're going to have a hard playing catching up to be able to put in character and discipline in their children. So, by that time, they're going to be teenagers. So, ang teenagers, paano malalaman ng teenagers kung meron ka na sa bahay? Number one, malalaman mo kung may teenager ka na pag gumagana na yung lock. If their room's already starting to have the door locks working. Second, you realize there's much use of the earphone now. They have their own music, their own world, and you can no longer use nagging as your tool. The more you nag, the less the children hear you. So, you move from controlling to coaching. You move from, di ba, cute yung baby, ayaw nila pag teenager ng mga anak ko, ayaw nila kinukurot sa mukha, baka sapakin ka na niya. You can kiss me, adore me, but do not kiss me in public. Di ba, minsan yung mga kids papati sa school, they don't want to be, they want to be kissed in public. Also, enough of the telling. When your kids are a little bit bigger, they don't want you to always tell them what to do. And you need to start moving, telling to asking. Joining in, letting them join in with the decision making of for their lives, especially for their lives. You're also moving from negative to positive. Ayaw na ng mga batang ng drama. Di ba? Yung drama, ang hirap ng... Dami na nila pinapanood, isa ka pa doon sa mga drama na sikasuhin nila. They hate drama. They hate issues. And so we need to move from negative to positive. Yeah, I'm sure many of you have questions now. Ano? And this is the last one. You move from weakness to strengths. Your kids, it's easier to see the weakness of our kids. But it takes a whole lot more to discover the genius in each child. So what is strengths-based parenting? Strengths-based parenting, what is this? And how can this work for me as a parent? How can this be of use? I'll share with you our story later on with our kids. But to define what strengths-based approach means, it means a strategic approach to development. Strategic meaning there's so many ways for you to develop your children to hit their targets. Maraming ways. I mean, pwede mong neglect, pwede mong maging authoritarian ka, pwede kang disciplinarian. But strengths-based approach is basically using a way to train their character and discovering their talent. If you train them, but you do not discover their talent, it's like children having an ability to fly, but they don't stick to their target. They don't have a cutting edge. They don't have a difference in their lives. Ito yung, mamaya may surprise ako ipapakita ko sa inyo yung aking surprise. So, meron akong surprise na ipapakita sa inyo mamaya. Because she's very good at training. And then lastly, give them tools. Provide that for them. Also, they will be providing that for themselves later on as they train their own selves to become talented people. So, in our minds, pag medyo malalaki na adult kids na namin, our goal is to have reliable, resilient, and relational kids. Yun ang nasa utak namin. They're responsible, they're talented, they're conscientious about their company they work for, the clients that they have. They're resilient, they have grit, they have flexibility during the times of crisis, and also they are very good in relationships. So, in our minds, healthy, productive, good values, and good relationshiip sums up into this a little bit more or less our goals. So, today I'm gonna help you welcome with me, syempre yung pinaka nag-train sa aking mga anak. So, Palakpakan naman natin si Miss Ivy. Hello!
Hi, Miss Ivy.
Ang bilis, no?
Nadidinig niyo ba siya?
Hello, everybody.
Yan.
Guest lang ako dito, so ikaw ang magsasalita.
All right.
I'm supposed to talk about my 2 strategies, no? I hope you don't mind me talking about the things that we did. In fact, ang daming nagtatanong sa akin, so ang ginawa ko, nilagay ko na sa isang libro. I have these 2 books, no? These are our strategies for training our children. One is pray. What I did, tatagalin ko na ito kasi hindi ko naririnig ko yung echo. What I did was, one, pray for my children, our children. And inside this, diba, sino ba naman ang parent na hindi gustong mag-succeed ang anak? Gusto niya, siyempre, maging successful in life. And hindi mo kontrolado ang buhay ng iyong anak at hindi mo rin kontrolado yung sarili mo. So the biggest thing that we did, especially when they were younger, until of course hanggang lumaki, is to give them to the one who actually controls them, which is God. And what I did was keep on praying for them, of course. Ulit-ulit yan eh. But I realized there are scriptures already that talks about our kids' success. And what I did was compiled series of verses that I would declare every day to my children on their health, on their emotional health, on their growth, on their friends, on their of course academic, on their career. And I realized the Bible is already full of that. So nilagay ko lang to dito, and that's what I did. To this day, I still do that. I pray for them and comfort them and cover them in prayer. Second thing I did was actually do a training. Training is intentional. Sabi sa Bible, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So, ang mga bata, hindi naman niya naturally natututunan to eh. Kailangan talaga ituro natin. So, kumbaga parang skill, whether it be sport, if you notice the word train kasi has a connotation with a sport, no? Inaaral mo, nagkakaroon ka ng muscle memory until you practice it until you have a muscle memory of it. So that's what we did. And sabi nga ni Bernard kanina, mga importante sa amin is that they would have the values, that they would have the character, that they would have, kasi pwede silang tumalino pero mayabang naman. Pwedeng tumalino pero walang pakialam sa mundo. Gusto mo sila lumaki na meron siyang godly values, perspective, purpose, confidence. At so, during their growing up years, yun yung tinuro namin. And a lot of parents have been asking me, how do you teach that? It's an abstract thing. I did it, I wrote it here already. It's in the form of mga competencies that you will teach in small increments to your children. So, yun lang po. Marami pa, pero syempre, ang gusto mong simplify. So, for us, it's just pray and train.
Actually, yung libro na to, yung sinishare ni Ivy, no? If you see the word arrows, we actually did not do that to write the book. We used that as our guide when the kids were growing up. So tinuro namin unang-una is attentiveness para yung mga bata marunong makinig. And then respect and responsibility as the main drivers of their activities every day. And then of course, the fourth one is obedience. And then yung WS, yan yung ginagamit namin kapag teenagers na sila. Kasi hindi mo na sila pwedeng sabihan kung ano yung gagawin nila. Pag malalaki na sila, you need to train them and trust them that they'll make wise choices and they'll have self-control. If they don't have that, kahit na sobrang talented yung anak mo, your kids will actually lose out on their flight in this life. So, Ivy, kwento mo sa kanila yung bakit importante sa atin yung character over grades.
This is one thing I notice, no, especially for us parents, and I'm guilty of that, that sometimes we are so grade-driven, performance orientation, Importante sa atin yung 92, 99, naiinis ka pagka may line of 7. But I realized, what is that? It's just a number that even the child wouldn't even know. And pagdating mo pala sa trabaho, kasi isa sa mga trabaho namin is a trainer. We do training for corporations and we realize what actually matters in the report card are those on the right side. Yung work habits, personal development, social development ng bata. Ito, wala tayong grading, hindi nga natin tinuturo diretso eh. Wala ngang curriculum para dyan. We are just assuming that the child already knows that. Tapos i-grade mo na lang. But I realized these are the very things that are important when you grow up. These are the life skills that are actually important. These are the things that your bosses are looking for.
Yan ang mga seminar ng Ariva.
Ano tama?
Kaya pag tingnan mo dyan, maraming seminar Ariva nasa right side. And you
Mga
actually
work
don't
habits
use...
and personal development
Okay.
is very important. So that is the character development if you notice. Yan pala dapat yung tutukan natin. Yun yung big aha moment sa akin eh. Kaya parang sa akin talagang ngayong malalaki na yung mga bata, sabi ko, I would just go and talk about this because these are more important. Not that I am downplaying the academics, but for a child, what is academics if it is not actually translated into good behavior, into fruitfulness, into purposefulness, into confidence, into leadership? Dapat mata-translate natin yan into this right side of the report.
Imagine mo naman, nakapalakpakan naman tayo, ganyan kagaling yung asawa ko. Yan ang nagpalaki sa aking mga anak. Thank you so much. Diyan ka lang, huwag ka alis. Makinig ka lang sa amin, alright? So, yung mga anak namin, they're all homeschooled from 0 hanggang high school. All of them, they learned how to read through homeschooling. That's one of the wonders of the things that God gave us grace on this learning. But after that, all of them went to college. Imagine mo dati, kaya mahirap din maging parent kasi dati nung homeschool sila, 50,000 a year lang ang binabayad namin sa homeschooling. Pagdating sa college, 500,000 na kasi lahat sila animula sa lista. Ang hirap, kaya ilang kalabaw ang aking pinautang, bisinanla. Ngayon, I have good news for everybody. My youngest now will be graduating this June as a medical doctor, and I'll be sharing with you more about that. So, what is strengths-based parenting? Again, it's a strategic way to develop our children. The second thing about strengths-based parenting is that it is focusing on what is right. Madali hanapin yung mali eh. Pero if you are going to parent your children in a strengths manner, you have to figure out first, saan sila magaling? Hindi saan sila, yan, diyan ka magaling, okay? Kung saan sila lagi napapagalitan. At the core of the strengths movement basically is the focusing on what's right about our children. All our kids are wonderful kids. They have strengths in them. There's some things that maybe just like both of us, may mga weaknesses din kami, but if we focus on that one, kulang ang oras. Ang daming drama sa buhay. Wala ka ng energy to grow them up to become the best people that they need to be. So why do we tend to focus on the negative, Ivy? We tend to focus on the negative kasi yung wiring ng brains natin. Di ba parang lagi tayong cautious, lagi tayong nagtakot, baka mamaya, pag hindi ko binantayan yan, they'll end up to become drug addicts, prisoners. Nakaganon tayo. But the truth of the matter is, children have their rawness. May raw elements in mga children. Do not panic. Okay? But instead of doing that, you have to understand that in your brains, it is wired to see the negative. Pag tinignan mo itong t-shirt na to, ang ganda, puti. Pero yung mata mo nakafocus sa isang madumi. And that's what we call the negativity bias in psychology. No? Nakikita ng utak natin, yung minds natin, yung mali sa mga anak natin. So, we need to start focusing on the positive. Tingnan nyo naman yung mga anak ko, ang gaganda, di ba? Dahil sa nanay yan. Yan ang positivity. All of my kids grew up from all homeschooled, all reared, trained up. But at some point, we had to really figure out saan ba sila magaling. Kasi hindi mo makikita yun as a kid eh. And so this thing helped us. There's a tool called Strengths Finders 2.0. It gave us the DNA, so to speak, of talents. So merong 34 themes yan. And we had all our kids try to answer them and see kung sino magaling sa execution, yung mga batang magaling sa action, mga batang magaling sa activities and sa events planning or sa deadlines. Then there are kids who are good at strategic thinking. They're very analytical. There are people who are good in relationship building as well as influencing. So, hindi mo malalaman niya kasi pag maliliit sila, how do you know? All the things you see is rawness. But when you let them take this one, maybe at the about of age of 14 and up, we'd not suggest for them to take it at a very young ages, 10 and below, no, or 12 and below. Merong pan-strengths quest for that one. There's another test for that for small kids. But we're particularly focusing in this conversation, how do you help kids develop their talents, especially with their teens and up? Now, let me share with you my son. He is David, and he is now the CTO of a company called Expanse. They are the ones who do the e-commerce for the big company called SSI, the Rustans Group. And all when you do an e-business with them, all the businesses go to their system, and you pay to them, and they deliver to you. When David was younger, he was very futuristic. He is very visionary. He loves games. He loves computers. He likes a lot of things about processes. And so nung tinake niya to, nakita namin, wow, oo nga, no? Paano nalaman nung algorithm na he is futuristic and he is a learner? Nung tinitignan namin to, nag-validate nga kami na, totoo nga, no? He's very decisive. He's very perceptive. He's very curious and process-driven. So yan si David, akala namin nag-games lang. Pero yun pala, papagalitan pa nga natin lagi. Dahil puyat na puyat lagi eh. He's always playing with the gifts. Little did we know that is the raw being developed to become his future talent later on as a grown-up. Now, he is managing as a business partner of Expanse Company, a business that he's running. So, yeah, in company. The third definition of strengths-based parenting is to deliberately look for what is good. Hahanapin mo yung maganda. Hindi lang yung tama, yung maganda. Deliberately. You're catching them do right. My second-born, his name's Gabriel. She is the brand manager in Uniqlo now. She came from McDonald's and from SM Group. But she loves people. She is a woo. She's a blue. Kumbaga pag sinabi mo sa Strengths Finders world, nako blue. Very relational to. Siya yung tipong pag weekend may plano lagi yan. Lalabas siya lagi. Masyado siyang friendly. So, very engaging, very intuitive, very accepting and warm. This daughter of ours, we believe, she's created. She does not want to have a box. She wants to create her own lane. She's entrepreneurial. She's, at the same time, yung mga clues namin sa kanya, she is so enthusiastic about life. Sobrang outgoing nga. She's now considering to move to Canada. Kasi kakasal na siya by June. Imagine mo, may kakasal na akong anak sa June. Girl, huwag mo kami kalimutan. So, kung medyo negative bias ako, lagi kong sasabihin sa kanya, ano pa yan? Gabe, dito ka lang sa bahay. Ano kaya? Huwag ka masyadong magbabarkada. Ano yan? But little did we know that is the raw nature of her talents. To become a people person. One day she's going to be a great communicator. She will be a great storyteller. Belief is powerful as parents. You know, we need to believe in each child. Makikita mo raw, but you've got to understand that it's a choice to believe in rather than control. Kung gusto nila i-control. Why do we tend to focus on the negative? I love my kid, but you know, it's a human nature to see the negative. But when you start seeing the medyo bent nila, parang may mali ah. Gala na gala yung anak ko eh. Why don't you try something positive? Why don't you see that baka mamaya, balang araw, yung anak natin magiging real estate broker yan. Kakaikot niya, marami siyang mabibenta. Di ba? She might be a traveler. Minsan nakikita mo, madaldal yung anak mo, yung negative, di ba? Why don't you just say, wow, magiging speaker sa Ariva. Motivational speaker one day yan. Parang si Bird. Ganyan yun ng bata. Now, I see in Gabriel, she's a good speaker and a communicator as well. Yung anak ko, puro games. Yung pala, IT engineer pala siya. But sometimes tahimik. Like my third child who's so quiet. Halos mapapanis na yung laway niya. Every time kami mag-family huddle, dinner, lunch, walang sinasabi. Yung pala later na magiging doktor pala. Hindi ka pala pwede maging madaldal kung doktor ka, diba? And then you have to respect their personalities. Tagal mag-decide na si Daniela. Pala deliberative pala siya. Siyempre, kung magiging doktor ka, kailangan maging deliberative. So, but those things we do not know. Kaya thank God that we had this wonderful tool called Strengths Finders. Nakahanap namin yung talents at saka teams nila. So maximizing each talent of each child is one of the definitions also of strengths-based parenting. So when I was looking at my daughters, this is Daniela when she was like 12, she loves to bake. She loves to, di ba, cook. And then baking ang gusto niyang gawin. So sabi niya sa amin, Dad, I want to become a baker when I grow old. Tapos nung tinitignan namin yung mga scores niya sa kanyang high school, she's the only one who actually went to third year and fourth year sa regular school sa ICA. And then she was in the honors class. When I was looking at her grades, ang tataas ng math, ang taas ng science scores. As I told her, anak, pwede ka na siguro mag-bake later on, pero not many people have this great aptitude for big data and aptitude for great memory. Have you considered medicine or law? Sabi niya, hindi po. So third year pa lang. And then later on, as I coach her and she's going through her fourth year, na-realize siya, oh man, I'll just bake on the side and I'll become a doctor. To this date, she's now finishing her doctorate degree and dahil na yung quarantine, wala siyang ginagawa sa bahay ngayon, hindi siya pwede mag-doktor, nagbe-bake na lang siya. So yan ang kanyang side. So when she took the strengths-based strengths finders assessment, ito naman yung kanyang talents. You'll see more blue and more also the what do you call this, the purple. So she's very careful, very fit for a doctor. She's thoughtful. She's genuine, good for client base. Hates issues. Siya yung anak namin na sobrang ayaw niya ng drama. Pag may nag-aaway sa family, siya yung unang na unstable because, and that's her uniqueness, so temperament na. And she's a planner and customizes, very individualizing. So, you want to share something?
If I may add, you're looking now at the picture of the strengths of the child. This is the thing that you get from the assessment. All this description, careful, thoughtful, and sensible, are going to be given to you already. Sila na nag-ayos para i-describe ano yung talent na meron yung anak mo. And as a parent, that's what we studied. No? Sabi ko, hindi ko pala pwede sila i-cookie cutter na I'll parent them in the same way. iba-iba pala sila, iba-iba yung gusto, iba-iba yung strength. So, my studying on this actually helped us gain wisdom on how to connect and how to direct them and how to encourage them.
Yeah. Very important yan kasi if you don't have this, it's hard to become positive in your communication and your connection with your children. Lagi mo makikita yung mali, lagi mo makikita yung issue, lagi mo makikita yung dapat nilang gawin, utusan. So there is in strengths-based parenting, there is a thrust to find the positive ways to build memories with your child. So when the kids are growing in their younger years until their teenage years, we were deliberate about becoming positive. It's hard kasi kami, very meticulous nga kami as parents. And so minsan, andun pa rin, may drama pa rin, even with all the trying of the positivity and all. But we understood that there are 3 areas whereby you need to become positive in your parenting. Number 1 is in your perspective. Dapat positive yung tingin mo sa mga anak mo. Hindi mo sila makikitang pabigat or magulo, makulit. You have to see them as a blessing that they are. The second is be positive in your conversation. Lesser drama, more direct to the point, and shorter and sweeter. The last one is on practice. Kailangan yung positivity mo, ginagawa, pinapractice mo talaga. So, pag nakikita ka lang resilient ka, that gives them the confidence that they can make it through life. Why is positivity important? Very important na maging positive sa inyong mindset. Because number 1, it produces calmness. Mas kalmado ka as a parent. Pag nakita mo yung anak mo as good kids, syempre, praise them. When you see them as reliable, when you see them as obedient, when you see them as taking initiative and they're hardworking, you're actually basically more drawn to them. Kasi nakikita mo yung lente mo sa kanila parang positive, very engaging. As compared to when your mindset is negative, instead of becoming drawn or becoming engaging to your kids, you become stressed. Bakit? Nakikita mo tamad sila. So pag tamad yung nakita anak mo, le-lecturean mo. Pag nakita mo siyang codependent, ifo-force mo sila. Pag walang initiative, kikriticize mo. When you don't have achievement, you shame them. When they're stubborn, you punish them. So imagine all these counteract reaction to your children based on your belief in them and your mindset creates a disengagement. And so that's the reason why we want to ask parents to be more calm in themselves. I like this quote by Anistan. Sabi niya, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. We see things as we are.
One of the things I've learned about parenting is, kasi kinalakihan ko, lahat kami sunod lang sa nanay. Ang sabi ng nanay ko, basta. Meron siyang abas principle. Basta sinabi ko, yun ang masusunod. And I grew up knowing that, kami pala mag-a-adjust sa parent. Here, the mindset is, tayo palang parents ang mag-a-adjust. Tayo pala ang pupunta sa mundo nila. Tayo pala ang iintindihin sila.
Nice.
Tayo pala ang gagawa ng paraan para alamin kung what makes them tick. Hindi yung ako yung nasunod, ako yung nanay, ako yung tatay, ako masunod. So, dito, naging learners kami. Inaral namin kung ano yung mga developmental stages ng mga bata, ano yung kaya nilang gawin, kaya nila emotionally, kaya nilang intellectually, kaya nila spiritually. At yun, ipinasok namin into the parenting system that we're actually doing. Hindi lang siya yung follow me, just follow me. We followed them. We followed their growing up years and became a student of our children.
Nice. I like that. I like that. Your mindset is powerful. If you see them as a blessing, you'll study them. You'll become a student of your kids. Yes, they might still be raw and immature now, but one day, like my kids now, they're all adults. They're in their field. They're working. They're making money already. And we're reaping the benefits of having positive and strengths-based conversations with them. Science-based parenting also is seeing the future instead of the just now. And so this is helping you become patient. Relax ka lang. Una, kailangan maging grateful ka, binless ka ng anak. Hindi lahat may anak. Pangalawa, it's a process. You cannot force them to grow up to become mature and useful immediately. It takes growing up and being patient and developing them. And then the third is to become a student of your kids. See their potential and learn better ways to grow our children. Strengths-based parenting is all about learning. Learning. Pag-aaralan, sabi nga ni Ivy kanina, we've never stopped studying. Every waking hours of our lives, we learn and grow, so that we become better students and relators to our kids.
I'd like to share my favorite verse. A man's understanding makes him patient.
Yeah.
That's Proverbs 19:11. A man's understanding makes him patient. If you understand what it is your children are going through, if you understand what it is you are going through, if you understand that they have the strength, they have weaknesses, they have their own inclinations, if you understand it, you will become patient. Yun po yung aming secret. Pag naintindihan mo, magiging pasensyoso ka. Pag hindi mo naiintindihan kung ano nangyayari, talagang magpapanik, ma-anxious ka, magagalit ka kasi hindi mo nga naiintindihan eh. Parang nagsama-sama na yung lahat. Bakit ganito yung anak ko? Bakit hindi siya pwedeng ganito kagaya ng kapatid niya, di ba? Eh, hindi pala. So, I realize it's the understanding that we need. Kaya pala may mga libro nga ng parenting na kailangan tayong basahin kasi we need to really study them. We need to study the process.
Yeah.
Sabi nga ni Bernard, we only have one shot at this. No? Hindi sa tinatakot ko, pero may grace din naman. If you ask, God will give you the wisdom. Yeah. Salamat at nandito ka sa webinar ngayon, nakikinig. And I know God will see your heart to learn for your children.
Yeah.
And we wish you success. We wish your children success.
Tsaka wag mo ikukumpara yung anak mo, lalo na kung sasabihin mo na, ano ba, yung grades mo, talo ka ng pinsan mo, tahimik yung pinsan mo, matataas yung grades. Baka mamaya sabihin sa'yo nung anak mo, tay, ang daya mo naman. Huwag mo kumpara sa pinsan ko, matalino tatay mo. So, ikaw, mayayari ka din. So, don't compare. Okay? Matalino tatay mo. Be grateful for the small increments. Pag may ginawa silang tama, celebrate. Di ba? Rejoice. Look for where they are good at, not where they are weak at. Kasi walang katapusan yung pwede mo silang sisihin kung saan sila nagkamali.
Tsaka pag point ka ng point sa mga negative niya, ayaw na niya. Hihinto na siya. Anyway, napapagalitan ako, ba't pa ako magta-try? Ganun na lang ang mangyayari. Kaya that's why we have a lot of kids now having a lack of confidence because feeling nila, nag-try ako dati, pinagalitan ako, so why do that? Pero pag hinanap mo, what is my child good at? Meron siyang small victories. Parang gumagaling siya, parang may nagsasabi sa kanya, anak, kaya mo yan. In fact, natutuwa ako, nagawa mo yan. So, those are small victories for a child. And as a young child, it's very important na marami siyang ganon. Kasi lumalakas yung puso niya.
Yes.
Parang asawa mo nga, di ba? Pag sinabi mo, good luck, Han. Kaya mo yan. Di ba? Ikaw nga, as an adult, lumalakas yung, tumatapang ka. Pero pag sinabi mo, hindi mo kaya yan, ganyan ka na naman. Lagi ka na lang, di ba? Nakakadurog ng puso at ng confidence.
Correct.
So look for where your kids are good at.
Yeah, sabi nga nila, di ba? Kung gusto mong mabuhay, kailangan mo ng 4 na hugs. Kung gusto mo mag-stay, kailangan mo ng 8 hugs. Kung gusto mo mag-grow, kailangan mo ng 12 na hugs every day. Imagine mo yun, no? So, kailangan i-hug lang. Positive hug. Hug. Okay? Another one is to catch them doing what's right. Pag nakikita mong gumagawa ng tama, bigyan ng jacket yan. Bigyan mo sila ng praise. Bigyan mo ng celebration na small surprises for them that you're giving them the message. I see. That's really good that you're doing. and then spend time honing their skills. Allow them to make a mistake. Allow them to fail. Kasi habang bata pa yan, pag nag-fail yan, okay lang. Pag matanda na siya, tapos di niya discover yan, wala, mamimiss out niya yung turn to discover great things in his life. Then, of course, lastly is model to them how to use the strengths. Ako, I'm a woo, I'm communication, positivity, adaptability. Kitang-kita nila sa akin, hindi ako nagpapanggap na ibang tao ako. I thrive where I'm good at. I woo in all I do. And so that's how we basically parent our children. And then lastly, respect their individuality. Huwag mo sila i-cookie cutter. Lahat ng anak ko, iba-iba. Yung isa ko, yung panganay ko, lalaki, iba siya. Yung pangalawa, iba siya. Yung pangatlo, iba. Wala. Siguro kasi na 20 sa isang anak ko, iba-iba lahat sila. There's no one kid the same as the other. So, last thing you have to do is shut up when you feel the urge to criticize and compare. I think better is if you have no kind words to say, you might as well keep your mouth shut. I think that's easier said than done. Kasi minsan emotional tayo, and that's whole another topic on EQ and parenting. Pero if you can practice that, that's going to be a whole lot better. Okay, be a strengths detective. Find out where your kids are good at. Ito yung strengths table namin. Tapos pag nakita mo yung combinations ng mga anak mo, tulad nito yung si David, nung pinag-aralan ko siya, wow, futuristic plus learner. Man, he can embrace new concept and processes to encounter new experience and create possible future solution as a tech person. My second is a woo plus discipline. Kakaiba yun, ano? Woo, tas may discipline ka. Imagine mo, she can solve social order and social chaos in her company. And last one, my youngest, deliberative plus individualization. Oh, as a doctor, she can clearly see the nature of each person's unique situation and exercise the restraint to generalize in order to give the right pathology. So lastly, we want to say, guys, be a strengths advocate. Ibig sabihin, move from controlling to coaching, move from negative to positive, move from weakness to strengths. Build relationship, focus on the positive, train for productivity. If you want to read up on strengths-based parenting, there are books that we wanna share with you. It's called Strengths-Based Parenting, written by Gallup, and Your Child's Strengths, also by Jennifer Fox. The first book I've read on strengths-based parenting, and the last one is the Strength Switch. So, I'll end here. Miss Irish, you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. That was really a lot, Coach Bernard and Miss Ivy. It is, well, actually helpful and useful, especially for me that I have 6 children. So,
6
yes. But anyways, we will move on now to our question and answer. But before that, we'll just have a short break. So
Okay.
please stand by. Okay, for our viewers, please stand by. We will be back shortly. Thank you.